There are powers on Earth too hidden to be seen, and conspiracies too vast to comprehend. For years, the world has seen fact distorted, reality manipulated, and the truth concealed. Join the Pierre Seraphim podcast to uncover the real meanings behind ancient aliens and their symbolism.
Hi, this is Pierre Seraphim, unlocking the keys to the mysteries. Now, in several of my talks, I've discussed the Ben Sira, the son of a boat, and so I thought it would be appropriate here to actually go into a little bit more detail and discuss who the sons of the boat are. So, if we can see then, the etymology of Ben is son in the Hebrew, and Sira means boat. Now, the Ben Sira are identified with an angelic lineage, so in other words, they are denominational of lordship. As we've said before, the terminology lordship refers to one who is born from a boat. The implication is of Malach, an angel, and Malach, a sailor. So therefore, one who is seen as being holy or royal or divine. Hence the relationship between Malach, an angel, and Melech, which is a king. Now, as we can see, in the Aramaic, the word lordship in the Aramaic is sar, which means a prince or a captain. Again, this would be a captain of a naval vessel. Now, in the Arabic and Aramaic, we can see that the Hebrew word Sira, a boat, is an allusion in the occult tradition to the Arabic name Sira, which is Sirius. So we see therefore that the Ben Sira, the son of a boat, is actually related to or originates from Sirius. Now, mythologically, the ship is a symbol of the opening wheels, and therefore the opening wheels are deemed, or at least in context to the Ben Sira, are deemed as originating from Sirius. Now, I want to actually take you through a few different etymologies and discuss the significance of the Ben Sira. So we're going to look at the descendants of the boat. And we're going to look at this noble offspring, nobilis, which means highborn, but is morphologically consistent with the naval tradition. As I've discussed before, the naval tradition is the classified tradition or the classical tradition, which is referential to classis, which is a naval fleet. Now, the Ben Sira are correlated with the Ben Elohim, the sons of the High Ones. So the sons of the High Ones is another name for the Ben Sira, the son of a boat. Now, as we've said before, the Elohim are often identified with the Seraphim. Hence, there is this relationship between Erin, which are the Watchers. It's a polymorphic symbol. It also means Erin, which is the Shining Ones. Now, the Shining Ones are described as looking like vipers, for example, in the text of Amran. And we see this also playing out with the etymology of the Seraphim. Sopheh for Watcher is cognate with Serepha, which is fire. Now, the Ben Sira, the son of a boat, we can see that there is a connotation there with a grafted bloodline. And this grafted bloodline is typically represented as being a lordship, kingship, etc. Now, we see therefore that the Ben Sira, they often appear in conjunction to the Seraphim or signifiers which relate to the Seraphim, such as the dragon. And again, we see that there is this juxtaposition in the occult tradition between human angels, which are the cherubim or proto-human angels, and the seraphim, which are non-human angels. This tradition is split and is therefore related to the dialectic. I refer to this dialectic as the Seraphim-Kerubim dialectic. Now, this is important when we go into occult symbolism to understand whether we're dealing here with a human tradition or whether we're dealing here with an alien tradition. But essentially, both of these traditions originate from an angelic lineage, a lineage which is derived from heaven. Now, I want to just quickly go over some of the core ideas about the Ben Sira. So we're just going to have a look at some of the etymologies. As I mentioned in the introduction, there is this correlation between the Ben Sira, and the etymology of Sar, which is a prince or a captain of a boat. And of course, Sar, a prince, would relate to Sira, which is a boat. As we said, in the Arabic, it's a diptych-paronomasia of the Arabic word Sira, which is Sirius. Now, interestingly, Sar, a prince, is also identified with the angelic lineage within the Aramaic. So Zar is the root which is used to denote an angel or an alien. Now, again, this is polymorphic, because in the Aramaic, Zar, an angel, also means an alien. It means one who is strange, one who is foreign. And so therefore the aliens are deemed in a conventional sense, or the angels are deemed in a conventional sense, to be alien or strange. And this is important when we're dealing with the occult tradition. Now, again, there are relationships here, and we can see this working out in the analogical symbolism with the angels. And I'm going to try and show this. So Malach, an angel, is related to Melech, a king, Malach, a sailor, and Machal, which is a container. Now, the container in this respect can be symbolized as a vessel, and the vessel again is used to symbolize a boat or a ship. So we're seeing therefore that there is this angelic tradition with a boat or a vessel. And lastly, we can see also again that there is a relationship with the Seraphim tradition as well. So we have Seraph, which is an angel, Sarif, which is a noble, Sapan, which is a seaman. So there is this interchange, if you like, between the Seraph and Sapan, which is a seaman, which would be an angel, Malach, an angel, and Malach, a sailor. And again, Sapan, the morphological switch between the P and the F, would give us the etymology of Safina, a ship. Now, it's very difficult for, obviously, the viewer to appreciate this analogical symbolism, but I'm going to try and just to sort of convey this to you. So if I quickly go over those etymologies again, you'll see these relationships. So we've got Zar, an angel or an alien, Sar, a prince, Sar, a captain of a boat, Sira, a boat. And again, the same word plays are working out with Malach, an angel, Melech, a king, Malach, a sailor, Mechal, a container or a vessel. As we said before, the king in this respect would be kingship. Kingship denoting one who is born of a vessel, which would denote an angelic lineage. The connotation is of the seraphic tradition, and this is identified with a grafted or a stitched bloodline within the occult tradition. And lastly, we've got the Seraphim angel, which again are interconnected with Sarif, a noble, Sapan, a seaman or a sailor, and Safina, a ship. In the Greek, there is this etymology between, if you like, in the Hebrew, you've got the seraphim, seraph of fire. Now, the seraphim are translated in the Arabic as the jinn, and the jinn are those who are born of the fire. So we can see that the jinn is interchangeable with the seraphim, and they are often represented as a non-human spirit. In this respect, they would be identified with the Ru'akh Elohim, the high spirits. But again, the Ru'akh Elohim can be manifested as a halakeh, a high creature. Now, looking at the etymology of the seraphim, seraph of fire, we see that in the Greek there is a relationship between Sirius Aster, which literally means the scorching star. The connotation is of the watcher or the dragon, hence the watcher is represented with Dracos and I, Dracain, which is to look, to perceive, to watch, and again is connected to signifiers which relate to shining. Erin are the watchers or the shining ones. Again, Sopheth a watcher and Seraph a serpent. So the shining in Messianic symbology, sometimes Sirius Aster, or the shining star of Sirius, the scorching star of Sirius, is represented as a blazing star, and sometimes the insignia of the eye is placed in the star to denote the watchers. Now, the watchers are the seraphim, or the shining ones. As we've said before, in the Greek there is this relationship between theos, a god, and theoros, which is a watcher. Again, the connotation is of drakon, which is to look or to flash. Now, the watchers themselves, they originate from Sirius, but they are related to angelic vessels. And as I've said before, the study of angelic vessels is scaphology. Scaphology deals with the study of this classified tradition, which is the study of angelic vessels within the religious and mythological tradition. Now, typically the vessels within the classical world are represented with the wheel. The personification of the wheel can be embodied also as a chariot, or can also be represented as a throne chariot as well. So all of these different ways of representing the wheels are shown within arcane symbolism. And again, we see also that there is a relationship with the shield as well. Sometimes the shield is combined with the boss of the shield, which is a spike protruding from the shield. And again, with the wheel, this would be the cog and the wheel, or the axle and the wheel. Now, certainly when we deal with representation within religious iconography, I'm going back particularly into the ancient world, the vessel of the ophanim is represented as a votive dish. And again, the votive dish, if we look carefully at the votive dish, you will see that the receptacle often has this, it's a circle within a circle, and you have what would be the symbol of the wheel and the axle. So the saucer is literally relating to the ophanim wheels, and the worship of these vessels, and again this is the operative word, worship, denoting a ship or a vessel, to venerate these angelic vessels as shown with the votive dish, is relating to what I describe as the saucercles. And the saucercles are the origins of all the knowledge, and this knowledge, as I've said before, is partitioned between the split within the priesthood, or the dialectic between human and non-human angels. Now obviously this links into different areas which I've talked about before, such as ancient alien abduction, which I refer to as AAA for very short. Again, it feeds into the scatological tradition, which is the study of angelic ships, and also the cytological tradition as well. So for example, the vessel, examples of a wheel could be represented as a barrel, which again is a wheel, which is denominational of a vessel. And the etymology for barrel and ship within the Greek are very closely aligned, so the ship can also be denoted as a vessel. And all of these ideas relate to the angelic lineage, and particularly to lordship, again going back to the scatological tradition. So that in essence is a very short breakdown of who the Ben Sira are and their connection to the Syrian tradition, or to Sirius. Okay, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you've enjoyed this video, then please give me a thumbs up. I would also ask that you try and pass these videos along, because the information that I'm talking about is extremely obscure, and I think it's really important to try and get this information out and try and disseminate this, so that people are aware of the symbols around, so they can begin to understand and begin to deconstruct these ideas for themselves. So, thank you for your time. Let's try and make this a better world. Thank you very much. This is Pierre Sabak.